Welcome to the Fail Forward podcast. I've met many people over the years who have failed and given up. The point of this podcast is to get people to understand that failure is part of the process. Welcome back to the Fail Forward podcast. Today, I'm going to be talking about trolls. Whether you love them or hate them, when you start putting yourself out there, you're going to get trolls. And when I first started getting the trolls and the haters and the people saying stuff, and do you know what? Trolls can turn up in all shapes and sizes. And what I mean by that is I've had friends troll me. I've had family members troll me. I've had just random people on the internet troll me. But what the trolls are trying to do is put you back in your box. When I first started this podcast, I had no idea that we'd end up being ranked second, which we are at the moment, in the Entrepreneur Apple podcast. We're up in the top 10 in business, and we are also showing up in the charts in America in the top 50 in business and entrepreneurship. Now, I know if I had have listened to all the trolls in the beginning, I wouldn't have been able to create the success with this podcast that I've been looking for. And when I first started, I put lots of messages out there to lots of friends on WhatsApp groups, and I had a friend call me out and try and put me back in my box then. I've been trolled so many times online, all sorts of comments, all sorts of quite nasty, horrible comments. And Rob Moore, my mentor at the time, was absolutely fundamental, because he gets trolled a lot too, in helping me through those times. Because when someone trolls you, it's like someone walking up to you in the street. It's the same feeling, the fight or flight. Well, if someone walking up to the street and go and swearing at you or trying to hit you or being abusive to you, it's the same feeling. You're just sat on your sofa at home, or you're out wherever you are. You instantly get a shot of adrenaline and you go into fight or flight. So instantly, when I first started getting trolled, I'd want to go and reply. I'd want to reply by maybe something stabby or edgy back. But what I learned is to always reply with integrity, always reply with kindness. And what tends to happen is people go away. Like what I do is when I reply with something rational. It might take me a few times to walk around the street or to be able to get back into a place where I've not got adrenaline spiking. But the whole point of this episode is to say that don't let people put you back in your box. When you go and start standing out there, when I first started doing this podcast 2 years ago, I might have had a little bit of imposter syndrome. I didn't really know what it was at the time. I was doing probably a bit of winging it. I probably didn't have the full confidence. I didn't have the wind in my sails like I do now. I was putting myself out there. I was putting myself on camera. I was putting myself on voice. I was putting myself all over social media in different WhatsApp groups. And at the time, that makes people feel uncomfortable, because you're putting yourself out there and I'm saying I've got an opinion. This is my opinion about this, and this is my opinion about this. And people will want to try and put you back in your box because you're stepping out your comfort zone. And magic things happen when you step out your comfort zone, for your confidence, for your life, for the success, for everything. But people are very quick to try and put you in that box. You know, we've seen it in the national news where celebrities and people have got trolled, and, you know, unfortunately people have taken their own life, because these trolls will keep going until they put you back in your box. But one thing, and the whole point of this episode, is if you're going to put yourself out the comfort zone, don't listen to people. Don't listen to what some flippant comment someone's got to say on social media. Don't listen to a friend who's trying to put you back in the box. Because if you listen to those people, if I'd listened to those people, I wouldn't have a top 10 podcast now. I wouldn't have the success that I've created. We're putting outside my comfort zone. The reason why people troll is because you're making them feel uncomfortable about what they're doing in their life, because suddenly you're putting your opinion out there, and that makes them feel uncomfortable because they're seeing what you're doing, the success that you're creating, and they're saying, hang on a minute, like, who are you to say this? And they're going to try and put you back in that box. So whatever you do, when you have a mission, when you work out what your why is, what you want to do, like my why is to help people overcome their fear of failure so they can live their goals and dreams. When you really focus in on that, you will stop listening to the trolls and haters. You will keep going. You'll keep the consistency, the commitment to the cause that you want, and you'll keep pushing on. Just don't listen to the trolls and haters. You can actually use them to your advantage as well. When I get trolled on ARB Talk, for example, we run, as you know, a tree surgery mastermind. We help tree surgery business owners have more time and make more profit. And on ARB Talk, I put videos out there and I get trolled a lot. But what actually happens with that, and this is where the magic happens with trolling on social media, with the way the social media algorithms work, if I put a post up today and nobody comments on it, nobody likes it, it'll be like tumbleweed. It'll be there and it'll be gone. But as soon as people start to troll you, as soon as people start to engage on that and they start putting, well, you're a dick because I don't believe that you're right, or whatever the it's always abusive. There's always some abusive part to the trolling. But whatever it is, when you then reply and then they reply and they reply and they reply and they reply and there's like 15 comments, suddenly that's not tumbleweed anymore. It's not just disappeared. Suddenly everybody within that group or within on that page starts to be able to see it, and other people start chirping in. And what tends to happen is I get some people that understand my content and resonate with it, and they're like, cool, this guy knows what he's talking about. And then you get all the people who are making feel uncomfortable because they're not where they want to be in their business or their life, start bringing all the excuses up. We've talked about excuses in previous episodes. Don't make excuses. People make excuses why they're not creating the success they are. But this all comes up, and then suddenly you've gone from a post that 2 people have seen or 10 people or 20 people have seen to suddenly you've got 1,000 people have seen it. Like the post that I had that I was recently trolled on, usually I put videos up on Arb Talk and they get 50 to 100 views. I think it got just under 2,000 views, and that was all because of a lovely troll who I used to get really annoyed about trolled me. So actually I bring on the trolls and haters now. Someone said to me just actually this morning, well, when you get trolled, you know you've made it. Well, I take it that I've made it because I get trolled a lot. So when you put out content, if you're at this beginning point of your journey and you're thinking, I need to start putting content out because I want to build a personal brand, or I want to start promoting my goods and services, and you start getting trolled, don't stop. It's part of the process. Learning is part of the process. Go back and listen to my first episode. It's not as fluid as this episode, and maybe in 100 episodes I will be even more fluid. As Rob Moore says, every master was once a disaster. And that's what I resonated in my head all the time. So if you're starting to put yourself outside the box and people start to put negative comments on it, don't attack back, imply with integrity, kill them with kindness, and keep on keeping on, because you will create the success you want when you get out your comfort zone. Thank you for listening to Podcast Today. I'm on a mission to get people to understand that failure is part of the process. So please share this far and wide, like and subscribe.